the Travel Squad podcast.
We're four friends that grew up together in the same small town.
We followed each other to San Diego, and now we adventure the world together.
One passport stamp at a time.
We're here to share our travel stories and inspire you to go on your own adventures.
Even if it starts with your own backyard. I'm Jamal.
Brittanie,
Kim,
And I'm Zeina.
and we're the Travel Squad podcast.
so grab your tickets.
Your passport.
And don't forget your travel insurance.
And prepare for takeoff.
Hello, fellow travelers.
Hello.
Welcome to episode 67 of the Travel Squad podcast. Today, we're going to talk to you guys all about our favorite travel credit cards. We're bringing you this episode by popular demand due to listener questions. We've had so many people ask us, what's our favorite travel credit card? So this episode is all about that.
I know people sometimes give credit cards a bad rep for many different reasons, but I do believe that credit cards are good. One, they help you build credit, and two, they help you fulfill a goal, which in this case is travel. And we're going to be talking all about how it can be utilized, how it can help you. And if you're paying down the balance each month, then it's almost like just using a debit card.
In this episode, we are showing you the money.
Money, baby.
Show me the money.
And I'm getting shown the money as well. In this episode, we're really bringing home our fuck 'em hard motto,
Fucking them hard.
Fuck them hard.
because all of these travel cards have bonuses and perks, and we have examples of how we've used them to get travel for free or discounted, all on their dime and not ours, which is how I like to travel best.
And there's just so many travel credit cards out there, and researching them can be really overwhelming. And so in this episode, we've researched 4 of the most popular travel credit cards, and we broke it down for all of you guys so it's really easy to understand, so you can pick the card that is best for you.
So without further ado, let's get into the credit cards. Woo-hoo!
Yeah.
Money.
Swipe it.
Get those points.
By the way, if anybody needs points, feel free to buy me things.
Kim's starting her own wish list over here.
Well, I mean, Jamal and Brittanie, before we started to record, they were talking about how they needed to make a few purchases in order to hit a bonus. And as they're talking about that, I'm just like, I can give you a few things to purchase if you'd like.
You guys can create your wish lists and add it to your OnlyFans or something. That's you guys' thing.
So the first credit card that we're going to talk about is the Delta SkyMiles Reserve American Express card.
Ooh, that's a mouthful.
Yes, it is. So the person that would benefit most from the card are people that fly Delta quite often because it is a Delta card. Unfortunately, though, the annual fee is pretty steep. It's $550 per year.
Oh, that's a steep one. But if you use the points and utilize it right, like we're going to talk about, the fee pays for itself.
Yes, it can. So there is a welcome offer. After spending $3,000 in 3 months, you can earn 40,000 miles. And after that, you earn 3 miles per dollar spent on Delta and earn 1 mile per dollar anywhere else that you shop.
I just want to say this, and I only bring this up because this is before my traveling days when I was a little kid, and I would always see travel credit card commercials and like, oh, you get 4,000 miles. Well, miles is just really their point system that they use. You don't really have 40,000 bonus miles for 40,000 miles of flight time. I always used to think, they really track like, Sacramento to San Diego is 500 miles. No, but that's just their point system.
That's so funny because when you said that, I was thinking 40,000 miles and I was trying to calculate in my head, how far does 40,000 miles from San Diego take you?
No, it's just like with any frequent flyer airline program that they do have, their miles, like as an example, Southwest, they don't call them miles, they call them points, but points are miles and vice versa. So they're really just their own actuarial dollar value.
Potato.
Yes.
So in the Delta SkyWest Reserve American Express card, in the welcome offer, they also give you 10,000 medallion qualification points. And prior to doing the research, I had no idea what medallion qualification status is. And I learned that it's a 4-tiered system going from silver, then gold to platinum. And the highest status is diamond. And this status is based on how many flights that you take, how much you spend with Delta and their partner airlines. And it gives you a lot of perks like unlimited complimentary upgrades. You can earn more miles. You get priority boarding, and your baggage fees are waived. There's also the possibility to have a status boost. And so every time you spend $30,000, which is a lot, you can get 15 of the medallion qualification miles 4 times per year.
Delta's diamond medallion tier is where I strive to be.
I already see you there.
What comes with the medallion and diamond, Kim?
You get a clear membership, you get all those boarding perks, you get those upgrade perks. Like me in first class, laying back, drinking champagne is the lifestyle I strive to live. And it's cool about this card because you can earn it and not actually have to buy your way in, which is also one of the other options with diamond, which I think is like a few $100s.
Have you ever done clear before?
I haven't.
Okay, it's really interesting because they got me at the airport for a free trial because I didn't have TSA pre. So basically, they entered a whole bunch of information about me and they scanned my eyes. So in order to go through clear, you just stand in front of something and it scans your eyes. It's so crazy.
You're in the system now.
I am. Even when I canceled it, I was like, I'm in the system.
They got your fingerprint, now they got your iris.
You know what? I've got a cataract in the left eye, so my eye print might change over time.
Did they, by any chance, take a prick of blood?
They did not. That's the one thing that I drew the line. I said, no blood. You can take my eyes. You can take my social. You can take my prints, but no blood.
Yeah, so you can use the points that you earn from your purchases to actually redeem for free Delta flights. So again, if you're utilizing and fly Delta a lot, which we've talked about this before, other than Southwest in terms of the major American airlines, Delta, United, American, I think all of us here in the squad are in consensus that Delta is the best of them. So it doesn't surprise me to see that people love Delta and fly them. But you can utilize those points for redemption towards free flights. And then obviously with those purchases also earn yourself, medallion qualification miles to get those extra bonuses on top of that. But doesn't this one come with lounge access, Brittany?
Yes, it does. It gives you Delta Sky Club access, and that's complimentary. And then if you're traveling with another person, you get 2 one-time guest passes per year. It also gives you access to the American Express Centurion Lounge as well, and that's complimentary. And like I had mentioned earlier, your first checked bag is free, which can save you a lot of money as you travel over the year.
So if you only get 2 one-time guest passes annually, I would say just show up each time you fly and just, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. Maybe they'll waive it.
Maybe
you'll get lucky.
And there's even more perks. And wait, there's more.
There's more. Back it up.
So you do get a companion certificate every year upon renewal, meaning that someone that you fly with gets a free flight 1 time per year. Ooh. There's no foreign transaction fees on this credit card. You save 20% off of in-flight purchases. You get upgraded priority. And the priority boarding is for you and up to 8 companions that you're traveling with.
Ooh, can bring the whole crew.
The whole crew. And I know.
There's more.
You get a global entry free credit every 4 years to get global entry.
And global entry, we've talked about it before. If you don't know, global entry gets you TSA pre. So again, you have a special line when you go through TSA. You don't have to take off your shoes, don't have to take out your liquids. And on top of that, if you travel internationally a lot, when you come back through customs, you also have a dedicated line. And you have to apply for that. They do a background check on you, no doubt. It costs $100. But if you have this card, if you purchase your global entry with the Department of Homeland Security on this card, they will reimburse you that as a credit when it comes time for renewal.
This is like a double fisting of the airport because on one hand you got the clear and the other one you got your global entry.
Fucking them hard.
Which one do you use?
I've always loved global entry. I love it for customs because the line for global entry are kiosks that you pretty much always can just walk through. The line for customs is like an hour, 2 hour winding line of wait time.
Depending on the airport that you come into, yeah.
But you know what? COVID has kind of screwed us with this one. Because global entry and TSA pre used to be one of the best benefits of going through the airport. But now, so many airports don't even have their TSA pre lines open.
That's true.
Or they just hand you the laminated card.
Like the placard.
You still have to take your laptop out. And every single time they tell me, don't worry about your shoes, don't worry about your coat. but then the alarm goes off and I end up having to go back, take this off, go back, take that off.
I agree with you on that sentiment. I felt like that was the case at the beginning of COVID. As we've been traveling more throughout COVID life, if you will, I feel like airports, as the demand for travel, even though it's still low, has steadily increased. They are reopening up those lines. I just really think it depends on the airport that you're going to and how big or small it is if you have those things happen.
Throughout 2020, I flew through Austin, Boston, Minneapolis, Las Vegas, and all of them were disappointing me.
That's unfortunate.
And also in 2020, there wasn't really a lot of international travel. And so global entry didn't really have that big draw or benefit because who was really traveling internationally?
You know, as we were talking about all of this, I was thinking to myself, because you guys were on me to get my global entry, and I'm like, well, I'm glad I didn't end up getting it because then I would have wasted an entire year.
Well, you have 4 more years to use them. That's the good thing. Global entry is good for 5 years before you need to renew it. So with this card, you can get the credit for your first time enrolling in the program. You get the credit when you renew every 5 years. So you're not going to get the benefit this year necessarily, but you're going to get it in the following year. That's for sure.
So the Delta SkyMiles Reserve American Express card also offers some travel protection. It gives you baggage insurance, secondary car rental loss and damage insurance, trip cancellation and interruption insurance, and trip delay insurance.
Who's had stories about lost baggage? Has anyone ever actually lost their baggage and needed to file a claim and get money back?
Never lost one and had to file a claim.
So when I was on a Southwest flight, they did lose my baggage. And
they didn't lose it. It just didn't come in. They were able to tell that it didn't make that plane and it was coming on the next one.
It was late.
It was late. And because it was late, they did compensate me $200.
Ooh-wee.
In-flight credit, not cash, right?
In-flight credit, yes.
Because it was $100 cash, right? Or 200 flight credit, wasn't it?
I think
something
so.
like
and
that.
I was like, I would take the 200. I fly all the time.
And that could change, that Southwest policy. We're on Delta right now, but none of us here have ever had to utilize these travel protections that these credit cards do offer, but they are useful. And when we get to the next credit card that we're going to talk about, that I actually have myself, it also does have the car rental insurance protection. So I always waive it when I rent a car and they ask for it. Do you want it? I tell them no because I have it. So I fortunately haven't had to utilize the claim. Hope I never have to, but this has it.
Okay, so I have a question about the travel protection. Does it protect against pandemics?
Cancellations for pandemics.
Probably not. Most credit cards have an inclusion where they don't cover pandemic.
Isn't that so crazy? Because how often are you going to use any one of the other travel protections and then versus when a pandemic comes across? Because I am mid-30s and I've only seen one pandemic in my lifetime. And you think you'd want to cover a pandemic since it's so rare over anything else.
Well, I tried to utilize it on, again, the credit card we're going to talk about next. We'll get to it shortly. But just to answer your question here, I utilized my points on that one to book a hotel in Hong Kong that I was supposed to go to in March of 2020, right at the onset of COVID. And I tried to use the trip cancellation protection, and they told me that pandemics were excluded. And I said, well, then what's included? And they said, oh, stuff like, flight crew strikes and things like that. I'm just like, strikes happen more often than pandemics, and you have like pandemics excluded? Like, I feel like airlines, the major ones, they strike like every 5 years.
Well, I mean, I guess they knew how much they would lose in a pandemic because look at it.
Yeah, I guess so.
So some pros to this card are Sky Miles never expire, and you can book almost any flight with a combination of Sky Miles and cash, which not all airlines let you do both at the same time.
That's actually really clutch. It's very hard to find airlines that do that. You are right. And I don't have this card, but I am a Delta SkyMiles member. So the points that you earned with this card, those are your Delta SkyMile points. And just in general about Delta and their SkyMiles program, that's one of the things I love. They're like Southwest in that sense. Your points, or miles in this case, never expire, which is a rarity in the airline industry. Other big airlines, they do expire. It's use it or lose it, and I hate that.
And some cons for the card are if you're traveling with other people, they might not get free lounge access. Like I said, there's only 2 complimentary lounge accesses per year that you get. It also might not be the best card for you if you don't fly Delta that often because it is a steep annual fee of $550. And last con is American Express isn't as commonly accepted as Visa and MasterCard.
Which is crazy because American Express is a lot more elite to get.
Yeah.
Costco does not accept American Express.
Costco used to be American Express, and then they switched to Visa.
Did you know they used to only accept American Express and not Visa and MasterCard for a long time?
So weird. They're just playing the field like that.
Well, I mean, it's Costco. Just like any other business, they find who they could get the best deal with. They decided American Express wasn't it anymore and went with Visa, but that's neither here nor there. We are talking about travel credit cards. So getting into the second travel credit card, my personal favorite on this list, because I actually have it and I do utilize it, is going to be the Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card.
And I gotta say, we are not an affiliate of Chase Sapphire, although we would absolutely love to. But Jamal reps this card so fucking hard. Any chance he gets, Zeina, Kim, you guys got to get the Chase Sapphire. Why haven't you gotten the Chase Sapphire?
I just feel so elite with this card. You know, for the millionaires and billionaires, they have like the American Express Black card that you have to get invited to be a member of the club to have that. And this card here, one, it's not American Express, it's a Visa. However, I feel like this is elite status that the general public can actually get to. So it makes me feel special. But beyond that and my ego, it really does have a lot of solid perks that, you know, I really think makes this the best travel credit card, at least how me and Brittanie travel. Because when I decided that I wanted to get a really good travel credit card, I did do the research a few years back before I picked this one up. And, you know, I came to the conclusion that this one was it.
Take us through the spread.
But first, before Jamal gets into it, the card actually feels heavier than most credit cards.
It's made of real metal.
Do you have an approximate weight on that?
I don't have an approximate weight on it, but it is definitely heavier than a regular credit card because it is metal. And as a matter of fact, when I had a fraud warning and they sent me a new credit card, with the new credit card, they sent me an envelope to return my old one because they said that this cannot be shredded regularly because it is a certain type of metal.
Well, let's bring out my scale in the bathroom and let's weigh it right here, right now.
Maybe we'll put that in the show notes here on how heavy the card
might need
is.
a smaller scale for that one.
I know, besides the battery's dead.
So getting right into it with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the people who would benefit most from this are going to be frequent travelers. And what I really like about it is it does not restrict you to a particular airline. And so the points that you earn are good for different airlines. It's good for hotels. It's good for rental cars. So you can use them anywhere and it doesn't really keep you captive in that sense. So for the everyday traveler and frequent one, I find it to be really good. This also does have a very steep fee, same as the previous American Express card with Delta that we talked about. $550. It used to be $450. I got in at the $450 rate. It is now $550.
Are you grandfathered in?
I was grandfathered in the first year that they changed it to $550, but now I am at $550.
I was just about to say that's a perk. Then you grandfather in for
Oh,
that life.
no. I wish I was, but they had raised the rate for everybody new coming in. But at the next cycle of when they charged me the annual fee, they didn't charge me the increased fee. But on the next one here, I did get it. So, I mean, they gave me that little perk in that sense. But even though this fee is steep, it very well pays for itself. And we're going to go over that here very shortly on how it pays for itself. But currently, as it stands now, they do have a welcome offer with this card. It's going to be 50,000 points after spending 4,000 in the first 3 months. And that 50,000 points is equivalent to $750 in travel credits. So that's $750 on an airline ticket, if you want, on a hotel, on a rental car, whatever it is that you want to do.
Like that in itself just pays for the annual membership.
Yeah.
The first year. Just the first year.
Pays for the first year all in itself if you do meet that bonus. But I'm going to tell you here again a little bit later how the $550 fee pays for itself with this card. But you accumulate points with this card by obviously spending and putting your charges on it. So each dollar that you spend is equivalent to 1 point. However, you get 3 times the points on travel and dining. So if I buy a $100 airplane ticket, I have 300 points in travel. If I spend $100 on a meal out with Brittanie, I have 300 points in travel. So dining and travel gets you 3 times the points. All other points are equivalent to $1, 1 point.
So you forgot to say that this card would benefit foodies as well.
It definitely would. If you like to dine out a lot, it definitely benefits the foodie.
So it's like only in the restaurant. It's not like Uber Eats or something like that.
Oh, no. If I
dining?
go to McDonald's, that counts.
What about the Costco food court?
No, that's at 1 point. It counts as Costco.
Good question.
But, Costco food court's so inexpensive. I spend $1.50 on a hot dog. What am I going to get? 4.5 points? It's not.
Hot dog episode.
Yeah, I guess not that big of a deal. But you can accumulate points up that way using this card to make your travel purchases and obviously dining out. And some of the perks of this card include a $300 annual travel credit.
Free money, baby.
Free money.
Woo.
Fuck 'em hard.
Fucking them hard. So that's what I love about this. The fee is $550. Each year, you get a $300 annual travel credit. Now, the travel credit applies to any purchase that you make in the travel-related field. So you buy a train ticket, a plane ticket, a hotel, a rental car. Your first $300 in the cycle year will go towards that $300 credit. I remember one time, Brittanie, we were parking downtown here in San Diego when I first got this card, and our meters here take credit cards now. So I was like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to get some points. And then I use it to pay for the parking meter, and I see $1 credit, and then I realize, oh, my parking meter counts as a travel credit. So I got free parking, like I'm on the Monopoly board or something. So that truly brings down the fee to $250. And I do want to say now in the time of COVID, they realize that not a lot of people are traveling. So they've applied that $300 credit to be to groceries now, even just as well. So
That's nice.
Yeah. So they're adding different categories to apply this credit because they know people aren't traveling, which I really, really like about it. So again, brings the $550 fee down to $250.
They're flexible and they listen to the people.
Yes. On top of that, it does give you a $100 statement credit, again, every 4 years, and it's applied when you use your card to purchase your TSA pre-check or global entry. So same perk as the previous credit card we discussed. My favorite perk, I must say, about this credit card, and we've all utilized this perk here, is the lounge access that is provided to you with this credit card.
Lounge life.
Lounge
Lounge
life.
life.
If you've never experienced lounge life in an airport, you are missing out. We travel coach. I'm not going to lie. We're not first class people, but this makes me feel like fucking first class when I have this lounge access. That is for damn sure. Yet. Well, I like to save the money I would spend on business and go extravagant on the vacation.
Who wants to describe a lounge to someone who's never been in an airport lounge?
Free food everywhere.
Free drinks.
I was going to say, I'm surprised you said food
Showers.
first. Booze, number one. Free booze. I mean, who doesn't go to the airport bar in the airport? I think we all do. How would you like to go to an airport bar that's free?
Mimosas, margaritas, glass of wine, a beer, cocktails, all free.
Water bottles.
Water bottles.
Stock up.
Soda cans. I mean, they have it all. Then they have food. Some lounges have like soups or salads or little mini snacks to grab that are finger foods. Some with COVID, they now have like pre-packaged bowls that they'll set out for you and then they'll deliver it to you.
Some places have menus you can order off of.
Some places have menus, absolutely. And it really depends on how big the lounge is and where the lounge is.
It was something that Zeina said, and I think we kind of all glossed over because we were excited about the drinks. At least I was. Did no one catch Zeina say showers?
I heard it.
Showers. I mean, who doesn't want to get off of an 8 to 12 hour flight? You have a layover, maybe you're not even in the final location. You have another flight. Who doesn't want to shower? Not all the lounges have showers, but some of them do, especially in the larger, big international airports.
Nothing like freshening up and changing into the second pair of underwear that you put in your travel bag.
Because
Absolutely.
you've brought in enough to shit yourself 3 to 5 times a day.
All of us bring enough to shit ourselves 3 to 5 times a day, except for Zeina, because apparently Zeina doesn't wear any underwear.
So Zeina didn't
confirm
put it
or
on the
deny that.
So Zeina did not put it on the show notes.
So the lounge access that you get is provided through a third party called Priority Pass. So it's an independent company. If you didn't have this credit card, you can actually pay to be a member of this, but it is included free with this credit card, that again, the Chase Sapphire Reserve. It's one of my favorite things. One thing I do want to mention is we've been to some airports that don't have lounges. And again, the reality is some airports don't. But for example, when we were in San Francisco, Brittany and I, we were traveling on through. They didn't have an actual lounge with Priority Pass that you could go into. However, some of the restaurants there, they gave you like a $28 food and drink credit to have. And so we had
That
free.
will get you one airport beer.
It'll get you one airport beer. It'll get you a meal. And the good news is with the Priority Pass, you do have it complimentary for a guest. And Brittany also had a $28 credit. So when I go, she gets into the lounge with me. If they don't have the lounges and we get the food credit instead of getting 28 because she's traveling with me, now we have $56
$56 to spend on food or
so
drinks.
real solid. I'll tell you what, my extra $250 of my annual fee I've gotten in free food and drinks just with the lounge. And it's so nice to not have to sit with the general public in the lounge. And I don't mean that in a mean way, but I don't mean it in that sense, Kim. I wouldn't go far as to call them peasants because I've been there before. However, it's just nice, that seclusion. You don't really have to think like, oh, the airport's crowded. I don't want to sit around people. I'm not even talking in times of COVID. Like, who just really wants to sit in an airport terminal? Now you have your own little private space. It's really,
The
really
seats
nice.
are usually nicer there too. Big, comfy chairs and couches.
Absolutely.
Fancy little waiters walking around.
And tables, and then charging stations at each
Free
chair.
Wi-Fi.
Yes, there's a lot of perks in the lounges.
Nice, cool jazz playing.
A piano player.
Free drinks.
But Jamal was talking about some of the food credits that you get. We recently went to a restaurant that had the best spring rolls I've had ever in an airport setting. And then we also got noodles.
Oh, yeah. We were passing through the Seattle airport and they didn't have a lounge that we were able to utilize because we were passing through so fast. But right by our gate was one of the restaurants that had the credit associated with the Priority Pass lounges. And oh, yeah, were those spring rolls that we had or egg rolls
I'm
so
still
good.
thinking about them.
Some of the
And they
best
were
ones
from
I've
the
ever had at
airport.
an airport.
And like, you get $28 free, so you can get a appetizer, an entree, and maybe even a drink. And as long as it's under $28, it's free. And if it's not under $28, you're just paying the difference.
So moving on from the lounges, and I know it's hard to move off of it because honestly, this is really one of my favorite perks about it. Let's talk a little bit about the point redemption for it. We talked about how you accumulate the points. Now let's talk about how to redeem them. If any of you guys have any Chase credit card, you might be familiar with their Ultimate Rewards program. So regular points that you earn, you can redeem through Ultimate Rewards. And their travel tool through Ultimate Rewards is pretty much like Expedia. So you book it through Chase Ultimate Rewards, but it's pretty much the Expedia platform. So again, whatever flights you want to book through there, hotels, rental cars, that's where you would go and utilize your points.
And this is really where we have fucked them hard. Since receiving this card, Jamal and I have not paid for a hotel room for our solo trips at all. It's paid for 2 nights in Atlantis and Dubai, hotels in a Big Island, Hawaii, Yosemite, Sedona, a whole bunch of other places as well. We have yet to pay for a hotel room since getting this card on a solo trip with just Jamal and I.
Absolutely. And so you can redeem your points for anything other than travel. I mean, you could even get them for gift cards. And if you utilize the gift cards, the points are on like a 1-to-1 cycle. Like 100 points is equivalent to $1. So that's what I mean, like 1-to-1. However, if you book it for travel, you get 1.5 times the purchasing power of it. So that's one thing to take into consideration. If we were talking that 50,000 points, if you were to utilize it again just to redeem a gift card, for example, it would give you $500, but you get the 50% credit bonus. So that's how that 50,000 comes to 750. So if you book it for travel related stuff, you get more purchasing power with your points.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. If you don't want to utilize it for points, you get a 1-to-1 point transfer to your preferred airline. So again, let's just say with that bonus, we're talking about 50,000 points. If I don't want to book it for travel through their platform that they have, and let's just say I have a British Airways travel program that I have with the airline, or Delta Sky Miles, or Southwest, I can take those points and easily convert it to my airline's point system.
How do you go about doing that?
So you would just log in to your account that you have with Chase, and then it'll tell you how many points you want to transfer, and then you just transfer it to your participating airline of your choice, and it just links it for you. So if you went to your Delta Sky Miles account and said, I want to transfer 50,000 points from here, and then you would get your 50,000 points in Delta Sky Miles points.
And is it instant or is there a delay?
I haven't used it yet, so I'm not too sure. I like to use it through the redemption system and just utilize points with the airlines, like when I book with the airlines, and get them that way and redeem the credits. So I haven't done the transfer to know how fast it goes through.
Okay.
So there's lots of ways to use it. Again, this credit card also does not have any foreign transaction fees. So if you have international travel, it's definitely going to be clutch in that respect. Otherwise, anytime you charge internationally, they have a 3 to 4% fee, which is no good. Right now, they're having specials with Lyft. So you actually get 10 times the points when you use your credit card with Lyft. And on top of that, they're giving out all these awesome perks. It's giving you Lyft Pink, which is Lyft's new paid membership program. And if you have Lyft Pink, it automatically gives you 15% off all your rides. It gives you priority pickup at the airports if there is like high demand. So it puts you to the front of the line of the request list. And it has more relaxed cancellation policies. So again, this is a separate Lyft membership that comes complimentary with your credit card just as well to give you even more bonuses. So I always use Lyft over Uber, and I'm always getting 15% off my rides because my Lyft account is tied to my Chase credit card.
Very nice.
And one of the most recent perks that they've added is DoorDash. They give you a $60 per year DoorDash credit, and then they also give you unlimited $0 delivery fees on DoorDash purchases.
Every DoorDash delivery or just select restaurant?
No, so you always have $0 delivery with DoorDash. So they have no delivery fees, but each year they're giving you $60 in DoorDash credits in terms of like what you purchase food-wise. So again, you can really see how with all these perks and those credits that you are going to not really be paying the $550 fee. It pays for itself fivefold pretty much. And, I want to move on to other credit cards, so I'm just going to brush over the rest of the remaining perks.
We really love this credit card.
I love it so much. I have it, so I could talk all day about it. But, this does have travel protection just as well, lost luggage reimbursement, trip delay reimbursement, rental car collision waiver, if you were to get in an accident in your rental car. If you were to buy big ticket items like TVs, laptops, it has extended warranties on those electronic items. And again, there's so many more. That's really, really hard to go over all of them. Otherwise, we'd spend all day on here. So
I was just about to say, this could be an entire episode just dedicated to the Chase Sapphire.
Well, I think this is easier too because, again, I have it. So that's why I'm trying to move along here. So again, some of the pros about this card, why I really love it, is the flexibility on how you redeem points with no blackout dates. You're not confined to a specific airline, specific rental car company, and you could choose to redeem your points in all sorts of different ways. The con, I would say, again, is the upfront fee that you have, the $550 annual fee. But again, with the statement credit and all the extra perks, I feel like it makes up. So it's really hard if you're utilizing this card the right way to find a con with it.
Hey travelers, we want to stop for a quick minute to tell you about a really exciting product we put together just for you. As you all know, we love getting you excited to visit places for yourself by sharing what we did and making it easier by giving you squad tips that we learned along the way.
The Travel Squad has created something to provide even more value for you in addition to our episodes by detailing trip itineraries and comprehensive multi-page guides with everything you need to know to do the trip right.
These itineraries include information on what to see and do in the area, where to stay, directions for the best routes, and even where to eat along the way. And we put them into these beautiful PDF guides just for you.
We created itineraries for a week in Yellowstone and Grand Tetons, Big Island, Hawaii, and an itinerary for an American Southwest road trip. Woo! And so many more itineraries to come. We are so excited to announce that they are now available to purchase on our website. So go over to travelsquadpodcast.com to get yours today.
All right, moving on to our third credit card. This is one that I am a user of, and it is the Southwest Rapid Rewards Priority Card. There's actually 3 levels to this card. Priority is the 3rd level. There are 2 other levels that you could apply for, but as you move up in the 3 tiers, there are additional perks that come with the tiers.
So priority, when you say third, is the top one.
The top tier, the most perks.
And then also the most expensive then as well.
In terms of the annual fee, yes, I'm going to get to that. So who would benefit most from this card? Just like our Delta card we talked about in the first one, frequent Southwest flyers are also big beneficiaries of this travel card because it gives their Southwest flyers the most perks.
That's us. You know, we love Southwest.
We love Southwest.
I mean, who doesn't? Like, honestly, if you don't like Southwest, I don't want to say don't listen to us anymore, but like,
boo on you.
reconsider yourself here.
And Southwest, if you're listening, sponsor us. So annual fee on this particular one is $149. If you are applying for it and you are just getting it, they have a welcome offer of 40,000 points. And that is given to you after you spend $1,000 within those first 90 days.
And that's not a lot of money in comparison to what you had to spend for the welcome offers for the other 2 cards we talked about.
Yeah, exactly. And the 40,000 points comes out to about $700 in travel. And for Southwest, that can get you several trips.
Absolutely.
I mean, I pay $39 to fly home.
That's what I was going to say. If you're booking, they're very rare 39s, but a lot of times you'll find $49 to $79 very regularly. I mean, if you're booking a couple round trips of that, I mean, you're talking easily like 4 flights round trip.
Yeah, or a cross-country trip or 2, depending on when you book. So yeah, it's a really great welcome offer. As far as points, how they accumulate after that, they, of course, value their Southwest purchases more than general purchases. So every time you buy anything in terms of a Southwest flight, Southwest Wi-Fi, Southwest drinks on the flight, you get 2 times the points for every dollar spent, and then 1 point for everything else. There are no lounges. Southwest.
Ooh.
Well, Southwest is a very down-to-earth airline.
True.
They don't have first class. They don't have lounges. They don't have a lot of that bougie sapphire.
Yeah, I don't want to call Southwest a budget airline because they have such great customer service that it's not budget. They're just amazing. So I would wager to say they are a practical airline. No frills, but they don't skimp out.
Exactly. Yeah, your bags fly free.
Transparency.
Yes.
I love transparency.
I mean, that's their wording.
Some of the other perks that they give you every year, you get 7,500 Rapid Rewards points. It's their point system, just like every card has their own unique name for theirs. You also get a $75 Southwest travel voucher every year. So that's half of your annual fee right there.
It's another trip home.
There you go. You get 20% cash back on your statement when you purchase Southwest drinks in the flight or if you purchase Wi-Fi on the plane. You also get upgraded boarding. So while they don't have first class, they do board with their priority, their A-list, preferred. They even have this A-list preferred line, like the TSA pre-line. They have a special line for these people to board in that you can also achieve. And there's no foreign transaction fees on this card, which is amazing.
That's really solid because Southwest doesn't even really fly a lot of international except to Mexico. And so I would figure that wouldn't be something that they would want to really offer as a perk because they probably don't think, oh, a lot of people flying Southwest international. So that's a real solid perk to have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the points that you do accumulate, which accumulate very quickly, speaking from experience, you can book through Southwest for not just Southwest flights, but also hotels, rental cars. You can even redeem them for gift cards. And that is one of the perks that I love most about this one.
I feel like I've heard you say so many times, oh, I didn't pay for this flight because I used my points.
I have gotten so many free flights from points.
To back it up real quickly, you were talking about 20% cash back on Southwest in-flight drinks. Now, this has nothing to do with the card, but like a little shout out to Southwest. Remember pre-COVID, they used to send us free drink coupons?
I was going to say that actually, as part of your unofficial welcome offer, you can expect to get drink coupons in the mail.
Hell yeah.
And the best thing about those, though, is like you get on the plane, you order a drink, and they never take the coupons. And I can't tell you how many times I've gotten free drinks on Southwest. And so I'm just like, they are so legit. Of course, COVID has changed things. But yeah, Southwest.
Side note, if you want to learn our hack for getting free drinks on a plane, and not just free drinks, but free snacks, first class treatment, even upgrades to higher classes on planes, we have a hack for you. It works every time in some fashion or another. All you have to do is leave us a written 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, send us a screenshot, either DM us on Instagram, email us, travelsquadpodcast@gmail.com, and we will send you our hack.
I've even gotten thank you notes from the pilot from this hack.
We've even gotten locals' recommendations on the destination we're going to written out for us.
Yes, we have.
They really take care of you. But anyway, back to the Southwest travel card that we're talking about here. Some of the other perks that they have that most travel credit cards do have as well is that rental car coverage, purchase protection for up to 4 months, extended warranty protections on a variety of things that you purchase like electronics, that lost luggage reimbursement, and travel accident insurance. This is that health insurance for a minimum of $250,000.
That's solid.
Yes, it is. So it saves yourself anywhere from $20 to $30 or $40 per trip that you don't have to spend on your health insurance. Going into some of the pros, some more of the pros anyway. A-list status. This is similar to what we were talking about earlier with Delta's medallion miles, medallion status. It's an elite group that gets you that priority boarding, those priority check-ins, and security lane access. It helps you earn Rapid Rewards points faster on each flight that you purchase. You can actually even get same-day standby, so they treat you better. You all have a dedicated A-list member phone line.
Ooh.
Go straight to the boss at Southwest.
Have you ever called and gone straight to the boss, Kim?
This is Kim with the Southwest Rapid Rewards priority card. Can I speak to the boss, please?
And they just bring in the CEO for you.
Zip me right in.
Yeah.
They're like, hello, Miss Deese. So those are some of the amazing perks. There's also one other perk that I think is really great about Southwest, and that is their companion pass. Now, anybody can earn the companion pass status, and it has to do with how many miles you've flown, how many number of flights you've taken in a year
It's 25 flights per year.
to earn that status.
that.
But when you have this credit card, it helps you earn those points even faster, so you get that companion pass quicker, and then you can bring somebody on a flight with you for free.
Just pay the taxes.
Taxes, yes.
On a side note, yes, this card helps you get there faster. One perk that they've recently added that Brittanie got, and Brittanie just picked up this card herself, they offered the free companion pass to her without having to meet those qualifications, but it's only for a year.
Yeah,
And
welcome offer.
So they had a special welcome offer. It wasn't for everybody. I think they see that we fly a lot, so they sent it to her because we are Rapid Rewards members. So if you fly Southwest a lot and you see them offering that to you, if you're good with your credit, let it be an incentive to you to think like, hey, maybe I should do this and take advantage of that perk.
And yes, that was true. I was offered the companion pass, but it wasn't on the Rapid Rewards priority card. It was on their lowest level with the annual fee of $69.
Yeah, so they have different kinds of welcome offers that they'll rotate in throughout the year. So pay attention. But the one I mentioned earlier is the one they have published right now on their website. As far as cons go, I would say, as with all of these credit cards, the annual fee, it's only $149, so not a huge con, but it is there. But with the perks that we just went over, the benefits that you get from the card in terms of the credits and the point accumulation that gets you free flights, I fully believe it's paid for itself.
Now that Jamal and I have two different travel credit cards, we have the Chase Sapphire Reserve and the Southwest Rapid Rewards card. It's like, what do we want to put on what card? We used to just put everything on one card, but now it's like, what do we put on this card? And so it's now we're putting all of our Southwest flights on the Southwest card, of course, so we can earn the most points.
Yeah, that was actually something I wanted to mention in the beginning, is how to maximize the points for these cards. I have a Delta card as well. And if I'm purchasing a Delta flight, I use that Delta card. If I'm purchasing a Southwest flight, I'm going to use that Southwest card. And then you kind of have to think about which airline are you traveling more. And I do travel Southwest more, so I tend to lean more towards that one. But think about it. If you have a trip coming up to, say, Miami, Southwest doesn't have good rates to Miami, but Delta does. So maybe I want to boost up my Delta card and get points there so I can get that flight free.
Yeah.
So really, manipulate your way in there and fuck them hard, guys.
Fuck them hard.
And, with these fees that we've talked about for the first three cards, you get what you pay for, and sometimes they are expensive, but if you utilize them correct, they can pay for themselves. If you don't think you're going to utilize them the way that you should for them to pay for themselves, you shouldn't get ones with fees, let alone hefty ones. And that leads us perfectly into the last card here that we are going to talk about.
Yes. So I'm super excited to be talking about the Capital One Venture One card. Do be careful. There's a Capital One Venture and there's a Capital One Venture One. And this is the Capital One Venture One. And I'm excited to rival Jamal's Sapphire card.
Well, let's see if this holds up.
All right. So first off, $0 annual fee. Huge benefit of that card. And who is this card going to benefit most? Well, one, it doesn't confine you to an airline to use your points. So if you are not partial to any one airline, this is going to be a good card for you. And if you are a foodie, you do get 5 times miles on Uber Eats, which is insane.
I love that.
Right? Crazy. So let's get into it. First off, on the welcome offer, you earn 20,000 bonus miles when you spend $1,000 on purchases within the first 3 months of opening your account.
And again, $1,000 within the first 3 months is not a lot compared to other credit cards to earn bonuses. So that's really solid.
I was just about to say I can easily spend $1,000 in a month.
Just in groceries in 3 months, spend $333. You're going to get up to $1,000, right?
Right? Or don't even do the grocery and just do Uber Eats.
Yep.
So how are points accumulated? You earn unlimited 1.25 miles per dollar on every purchase.
Except for 5 times on Uber Eats, apparently.
Exactly. Thank you for throwing that out there. That is 100% correct. So it's 5 times miles with Uber Eats. Now, the important thing to note is that promotions change all the time. This is one of the promotions right now. So when you are listening to this, make sure that you are looking to make sure it's still valid at the time in which you're listening to this podcast gold episode. So the perks of it is a 0% APR for the first 12 months, and it has no foreign transaction fees.
That's really great. 0% APR.
Yeah, I mean, just rack it up for the first 12 months. Boom.
You could spend your 1,000 within the first 3 months, and then with the no interest, pay it off slowly. I don't recommend that unless you know you'll be able to do it, but that's one of the ways you can really fuck them hard and use their perks to your advantage.
Exactly. So other pros to getting this card is that you can use your venture miles on flights, hotels, and more. And then, like I mentioned, this doesn't confine you to an airline, so you can transfer miles to any one of their 10 plus travel loyalty programs. Who are they? Acre Live Limitless.
That's Accor.
Accor.
And I think like Accor hotels.
Oh, is that?
I think.
Okay. I do not know Accor hotels, but I do know Aeromexico, Air France KLM, Alitalia, Asia Miles, Avianca Life Miles, Emirates Skywards, Etihad Airway, Eva Air, Finnair, JetBlue, Qantas, and Singapore Airlines.
It sounds like this card could be good for big international travelers with all those connections and then the 24/7 customer service.
Exactly. Yeah. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. They're going to be there to help you.
Well, it's good that you can transfer the points to those major airlines. Also good in the sense that you can utilize the points to travel with any carrier outside those airlines.
Exactly. And you do have 24-hour travel assistance services if your card is lost or stolen, or if you need an emergency replacement card, which is super clutch, or a cash advance. And then finally, they do give you a free Eno trial. And when I was looking at this card, I was like, what is that? But it's a really cool app that it reaches out when it spots a bill higher than normal, notifies you of suspicious charges and helps you resolve them, looks out for free trials and notifies you before they end, which is super, super clutch. Who's ever paid for a trial that they didn't want to pay for because they forgot that they needed to cancel it. And it checks in with you if it detects a tip higher than usual. That one made me laugh.
Like, oh, this person's tipping abnormally. Yeah. Well, you know what? Servers go back and add tips after the fact when you leave. I know I used to be a server. Not that I ever did anything I shouldn't and added a tip that wasn't really put on it, but mistakes happen. And so, if you have sloppy handwriting, someone misreads it, or someone is being nefarious and actually adds it, I guess that is a really cool feature to have. It's like an app that protects you in a sense.
It is. It is. Yeah. You know what, Jamal? You highlighted it good because I was just kind of laughing like, how funny. It's like calling you out for being cheap.
Oh, no. It's an app that protects you.
There you go. So for the cons, there really isn't that much. I mean, this is what you get for free. So yeah, there's no lounge access. Yeah, there's no paid for pre-TSA global entry. But that's okay. Look at all the other perks that you do get.
Yeah, and I think you really hit the nail on the head with this one, Zeina. You know, there's not a lot of frills with this one. And again, the reason for it, $0 fee associated with the card. So I think this is a good one if you're still deciding what you want to get, don't really want to invest that much money, and you travel often but not incredibly often. This is a good one to get your toes wet with. Try it out. It doesn't confine you to a particular airline. Get to understand the credit card systems and how to utilize them towards your benefit, and then potentially upgrade. So I think for a free card and the flexibility that it gives you, this is a real good one in that sense.
Not only the flexibility, but the protection.
Absolutely.
Between the 4 cards that we talked about today, we have a good mix in here of cards that, like this last one, is good for beginners who are getting into travel credit cards, maybe don't have a high credit score or a high income, but can still qualify for this one and earn those perks, all the way up to some of the most prestigious travel credit cards, which you need more income, more credit history, and then you get all of those perks for those frequent travelers.
Any final thoughts for you ladies after going over all these credit cards?
I feel like online shopping.
Spend wisely.
Yeah, credit cards can be a trap for some people, as Zeina kind of highlighted on earlier. Don't utilize these in a way in which that you're going to have mountains of debt to get free points. Utilize them wisely. If you can utilize them wisely, they're great tools. And when we were talking about the lounges earlier, I did forget to mention, don't forget to tip the people inside. Even though the stuff is free in there, drinks, food, do tip the servers. It's very good etiquette, and you should do that and put out good karma.
Since this whole episode was based on traveler questions, we don't have a questions of the week segment this week, but I want to thank you guys all so much for tuning in to this week's episode. I hope you learned something. I hope you can fuck them hard with the tips we gave you. Keep the adventures going with us. Follow us on Instagram. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Travel Squad Podcast. Send us in your questions for next week, and have a great week.
If you found the information in this episode to be useful, or if you thought we were just plain funny, please make sure to share it with a friend that would enjoy it too.
And as always, guys, please subscribe, rate and review our podcast, and tune in every Travel Tuesday for new episodes.
Stay tuned for next week's episode. We have some more amazing adventures and tips in store for you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.